All right. Good morning, everybody. This is Scott Fiaschetti from Geopath. I just want to say thank you for joining today's advanced session where we're going to be talking about the Learning Lab. So it launched a couple weeks ago, September 26th. And there's been a lot of really great interest, but also some questions. So we thought it would be a good opportunity to use today's advanced session to walk through their Learning Lab, give everybody a demo. We'll even show you what it looks like from the admin view, because I know there's some people on the call today that want to see some of that functionality as well, and just also to let everybody know about that functionality exists within the tool. I'm joined here today by Sean McCarthy, our head of IT.
Morning.
He was very instrumental in helping us get this stood up as well. And I'm also here with, as always, Brian Shopper.
Hello.
Who will help us monitor questions and jump in as well with then answers as well. So before we do get started, also, as always, please feel free to ask questions throughout. We always like to try to answer questions in the moment as much as we can so that they are relevant to kind of the point of the webinar that we're in. So please feel free to do that. The easiest way is through the Q&A widget in the Zoom meeting platform. That's probably the quickest and easiest way to get us any of your questions. And like I said, we'll do our best to answer them in the moment. So as we jump into it, just a quick thing. I want to talk about the transition. So as you hopefully know by now, on October 1st, the Geopath Insights came out of beta, and that data can be accessed through our Geopath Insights suite as well as our API. And a couple of things about that, I want to make sure everybody's aware. So the data in the Insights platform is to be used for planning for projects starting January 1st, 2020. So if you receive an RFP today and the project launches January 1st, 2020, you'd want to be going to the Geopath Insights suite or pulling the data out of the new API for response to that. If it's a project that is going to start and end still in 2019, you would still want to go to the current places that you're getting our Geopath Insights data from, whether that's ADS or Telmar or wherever you currently get that information from. Also, there will, just so everybody's aware and just feeling at ease, the legacy tools will be intact and accessible at a minimum through December 31st, 2019. So you'll still be able to use and gather all the data you want out of our ADS and old plan tools as well. And the purpose is during that 3-month transition period from October 1st to December 31st, it gives time to the operators and agencies to migrate to that full use of the Geopath Insights. And again, I know I'm repeating myself, but whether you're accessing that through the Insights suite or the API itself. And a couple of things you will notice that I just want to make sure everybody's aware of as you're looking at the data. There's 3 different status types that you will see. So measured indicates that inventory has passed audit. So that is full measures. If you're looking in the Insight suite, that will, you're looking at a unit, it'll pull back or, show you measures. There's also a flag that you will see that says under review. And that means that it's been flagged for re-audit either by Geopath or the operator has looked at it and wants us to take another look at it. And that's a lot of what's happening over the next 3 months, since October 1st. We've been doing it throughout the year, but also, we're working with our operators much more closely. And we're at the final stages of looking and making sure all the inventory has been re-audited and ready for prime time, so to speak. So you may see some inventory that is flagged, and there's 2 parts to that. So you'll see some that's flagged and it will return measures. So just know that those are subject to change. If you see an inventory flag for review and it does push back some impression numbers, know that potentially will change as we re-audit it. And once it's been re-audited and has passed it, that flag will be removed. There's also inventory that's been suppressed. So again, the operator, our Geopath, has chosen to suppress it until the numbers have been completely updated. And those you'll see in if you run into an experience where you're looking at inventory and it's not returning impression data, that's likely the case of what you're seeing there. Okay, so let us know if you have any questions on that. Please feel free to reach out as you get into the Insights Suite. And so what I wanted to do today, so yesterday, if you joined the call, we were talking about the Insights Suite. We did an overview of that, showed you how to pull some data. And today we want to talk about the Learning Lab and want to give everybody a deep dive into that. So the Geopath training curriculum has 3 broad tracks to it. So the first track is the introduction to audience insights. So really that is about a basic understanding of media math. So you'll see as we get into the tool, what is an impression? How do you calculate a CPM? What is, a GRP, and how do you calculate that? So a lot of really good evergreen information. And then that leads into kind of audience metrics and how Geopath measures, as well as what is audience segmentation and why is that important and how do we think about that? Because again, with the new Geopath Insights, there are a lot more audiences than ever before. And so this is a key thing that we want to make everybody aware of. And I do want to put a special thanks out to our partners at Smart who helped us create a lot of that initial content. So anyway, you work through that first session, you get a certificate of completion. And then the next track is getting to know the Insights Suite. So this is really focused on how to use the different modules within the Insights Suite itself. And it goes through all the different modules and a bunch of different workflows that you could use to pull data from the Insights Suite. There's also a printable step-by-step user guide that you can download and have that as side by side as you're going through the course. But again, we'll talk about that and I'll show you that in a moment. And also the third track, so you understand the insights, you understand the Insights Suite, and then we got to tie it all together. So how do you use the data, the information you've learned about measurement to create value for your clients? So that's what the third track is all about. And that is really driven by a number of the use cases that we've been doing in these monthly training sessions. So you'll see some of the use cases that we've done in the past cut up into smaller sections. So you can really focus on the data and how to think about using the data. And like I said, how do you create value for your clients. So as I said, it launched on September 26th, and I want to jump into it and just show you, give you a quick overview before, but what we're going to look into. So when you log in, you'll see this view and you see all the thumbnails of the courses that are available. There's 16 total courses, and you could think about that as your like college catalog course, so to speak, all the things that are available through the online training platform. And we automatically enroll everybody in the 3 certificates, and you could choose to do all 3, you can choose to do 1, you can choose to do 2. So it's really up to you, and it's really up to you on the speed you want to complete it. We give timing for everybody on the just estimated timing on how long it takes to complete each certificate level. But in total, it should take roughly about 4 hours, start to finish, if you're doing everything in one day to complete everything. This is the certificate view as well. So you can see that there are 3 certificates available. And then as you get into an individual course, you'll see this is the Measurement Fundamentals, Media Math 101. We try to give a description of everything so you have a good understanding of what you're going to learn and just how long will it take you to get through that one course. So again, if you're planning out your day or you want to like go through and just look and see if you want to schedule over a couple days, you can build timing into your Outlook calendar and know how long and it's going to take. And so as you dig down into any one course, so again, this is the next level, the Measurement Fundamentals of Media Math 101, you'll see that there's 3 different types of content generally within each chapter that you go through. So there's a video, typically, and they're typically short videos. You see this one's 3 minutes. They range from anywhere from 90 seconds to the largest in the training videos are probably about 5 minutes, except for the use cases. Those are admittedly a little bit longer. And then there's a one pager that supports the video and a PowerPoint as well that we basically developed to use to create the video. So there's 3 different ways to consume the content, and that's very purposeful because we know people, not everybody may want to watch the videos. Maybe somebody wants to review one of the one-pagers instead and look at the PowerPoint deck. That's what this is right here that you're seeing. So there's 3 different ways to consume the content in any course. And again, we leave it up to all of you. You may want to look through all 3 of them or just one. Our goal is to just have the information there. So we just want people to learn and understand things. So as you go through a number of the chapters, you'll get these concept reviews. So these are just a quick set of 3 questions, 4 questions, just to make sure you're tracking on the information that's being provided. These are fill in the blanks, some are drag and drop matching exercises. So something that's somewhat interesting and fun for you to try to answer. And again, there's no harm if this person right here looks like they weren't paying attention, so they got all 3 wrong. You can easily go back and change your answers and get the correct questions. Again, our goal is not really to test that hard. We want to just make sure people are paying attention ultimately. And as you go through, this is another view of the certification view, or the certificate view. You can track progress as you go in that sense. So this person has been through a couple of the requirements, so they're about 20% done, as you can see right here. And as they complete, they'll that will go to 100, and you'll see a little trophy that shows they've received their certificate as well. So just want to pause. We're going to jump right into the tool right now, but I want to pause, see if there's any questions at all.
Nothing yet.
Okay. Yeah, definitely feel free. If there's something you're wondering that I didn't cover, definitely reach out to us and ask us. Boom, boom. All right. So to get to the Learning Lab, this is the geopath.org homepage. So you can see right here, there's 2 buttons, right? There's the Learning Lab and then the Insight Suite. So you can either learn now or explore now. So today we're gonna learn now. But I also want to point out that in the tools section, you can also get to the Learning Lab and the Insight Suite, as well as any of our other legacy tools as well. So I'm going to go back to the homepage. You click the button here, and it will ask you to log on, right? You'll see this view and you'll click and log in. I've actually already logged in, so I am not going to do that. I want to show you the view of the learner view. So you'll have this little person here. So if you're an admin, you'll see these 2 icons here. But if you're just a learner, you'll see just this person in this view. So right now, everything's closed. Here's all the different courses that we have available to you for your certificate view. So everybody who currently has a login to Geopath, we've ported into the Learning Lab, and you already enrolled in all 13 courses that would get you through to get your Geopath certificates, right? This all view down here, I'm going to click on, shows you all 16 courses that we have developed and are available. But there are a couple that we wanted to have as additional information. So if you wanted to dig deeper or wanted more information on anything, that they were available. They aren't necessarily requirements for the certificate. And when we look at the certificate view, I'll point that out. But I'm going to go back up to the enrolled view. We start off with an introduction and overview to the Learning Lab. So if you haven't joined a session like this, that you will, you can use this to understand how to access the information, how to work through the certificates to get your the certificate view to get your certification. And then you start down your course courses. And we also tried, again, if you look at it from this view, we tried to tie the courses together by color and iconography. So all these orange ones are all tied to the first certificate, and then these other ones are tied to the Insight Suite, and then the application. So those 3 certificates are all right here. And as you go through a course, as you start, you get into it, and like we said, here's some more information on what this course entails and how you can access it. So all you need to do, you're automatically enrolled, and you just click here and you'll start watching a video.
Hello, this is Scott from Geopath, and welcome to
And you probably, and then here's also in the overview course, here's a course outline. So it lists all of the different courses and the subtopics underneath each. So you can have that by your side and see which ones you want to go through first, or in what order you can want to go through them. And you could also, like I said, you can download this right here or print it off. So it's available to you to have right by your side as you're going through. So I'm going to leave this course right now and go back into the overall view right here. Boom, enrolled. So I also want to show you the certificate view. I know I've had a couple of screenshots. So I've gone through and I got my Geopath Measurement Fundamentals certificate. You could see that I've been through it and I've completed all the courses here. But as I said, there's 2 courses that are optional for you. And that's the Geopath Best Practices and Standards doc. We've cut that up and put that here as its own course. If you want to dig into it, we definitely recommend that and would like everybody to do that. And then also additional materials on the Geopath methodology. There's a whole host of materials here, and this is one I definitely want to go into individually so everybody's aware of what's in this. So this is extra information on why the impressions changed, and very short videos on each of those sections on different things that have changed. It also talks about our methodology a little bit more in depth, and it also talks about the visibility adjustment index. So there's a lot of good information here, but again, we didn't want to make it a requirement for the course, because it is something, if you really want to geek out, so to speak, and dig down deep into the methodology, it's there and available. And so let me go back to the review. And so, as I said, there's three certificates. And so you can see here, similarly, I've just started going through the Insight Suite certification. So I've completed the intro. That's why it's green. So we include that intro video in every single certificate, because we realize people may not all be going through every single certificate. So we wanted that at least to be a starting point for everybody. But then here's an Insight Suite overview. So it talks in general about the Insight Suite and the modules, and then we dig down into each one. So understanding the Explore module, understanding the Places module, the Workspace module, and then ultimately when the reporting module is up, you'll see a course come in here that is about the module. And then each course, sorry, I neglected to talk about this, ends in a knowledge check. So there's those review checks throughout, but then there's a knowledge check. And the knowledge check is a short test. It's I guess short is relative. This one's 26 questions, as is the one for the fundamentals. And again, you go through, it's multiple choice. Which module in the Insight Suite would you use to select a target? I'm going to give everybody the answer to this one. I think it's B. And then you go on and quickly answer questions here. And when you get to the end, you submit your answers, and we tell you which ones you got right and which ones were incorrect, if there are any, but we also provide an explanation of why. And you are allowed to go back and retake the test as many times as you want to get a grade of 80 or better. And so again, we're not, the goal is to really just have learning. Again, we're not trying to be super strict and only let you take it once or twice. We want people to just take it as many times as they need to so they can absorb the information. And that's our ultimate goal here. I'm going to leave that test. I didn't submit the test, so I will eventually have to go back and retake that test. See, you've never completed this course. Right? And then the third course is the application. So basically here we have we have use cases from the agency side as well as the operator side. And all we ask is that we would like everybody to watch at least one video from each as a requirement, and then you can take your knowledge check. And the knowledge check here is slightly different. It's 2 open-ended questions that you can, they're thoughtful questions. We want people to think about what they've watched and really write a couple of sentences about how they can see themselves, how the Insights Suite data or the Geopath Insights data is changing how they work, or ideas on how they think it will change it, and then how they can, better help clients with this information. So not too taxing, but again, questions that we want to ask our members to think about what they've gone through and reflect on that a little bit. So let me go through.
We got a question.
Great.
It's do you have to finish a course before you can access the optional materials?
No, you don't have to do that. I'm not sorry if anybody heard that question, but there was a question on, do you have to finish all the courses? So for example, here, do you have to go through all of these before you can access the optional? So let me do that here. So I haven't finished all the courses. I'm going to go to the additional materials methodology. So I'm going to enroll myself in it, and that's all you need to do. That is click that. And then I can go through and do it. That's all you would need to do. So you can self-enroll, because we didn't want to arbitrarily make everybody be enrolled in those 2 courses. We set them as optional. And here is that deck. And this is the deck that I'm talking about that talks a little more in depth on what we measure. So this is, like I said, there's a lot of good information in this course as well, but again, we see it as additional supplemental information as well. Also too, I wanted to show you, because I've been through my first course and I got my certificate, here's my little certificate, and you receive one of these for completing every certificate kind of course that you've completed as well. Go back in here. Any other questions as we're walking through this? And as you go through the enrolled, as you complete a course, you'll see that I complete my course. Great. And now I'm in my learner view, and that's gone. So if you want to go through it this way, it goes back to your catalog because you've completed it. So we don't grade the individual courses. We just grade ultimately the knowledge check. So I completed it today on October 25th. If I want to take it again, I can always go back and re-enroll, but I feel pretty good about that one. So I'm going to go through this one and get into here. So I'm looking at the media math, measurement fundamentals. Like I said, when I was in the presentation deck, gives you your information. This one, to be honest, is one of the longer chapters, so to speak.
This is the longest one.
This is
by a chunk.
By a chunk, because there are a number of different chapters in this one. So there's 7, and each video is about 3 minutes long. 1 or 2, I think, are 4 to 5 minutes long. But this by far is the longest. Everything else you can probably get through a course in much less time, 20 minutes or so, plus or minus, I would estimate. So like I said, there's the video. You can click here and start by watching it.
This is Rachel from Geopath.
There's Rachel from Geopath. And then, like I said, the one pager is associated with everything that you can also download and have it right by your side and have it for reference after the course. And then the PowerPoint, which was used to create the video. So you can also print that off ahead of time and take notes on that. You can take notes right here if you'd like as well within the tool itself as you go through it. So a lot of different options here. I'm gonna, you know what, I'm sorry, cancel. I'm gonna keep on going through this course here so you can see. Okay, so now this is the next video, impression. Sorry, I'm gonna keep clicking through that because I wanna show you, here's the one pager and here's the deck. And then you'll come up on those questions. So great, select the correct word to complete the sentence. I've watched my videos. Blank is the total group of persons in a specific geographic area that share a common characteristic. I don't know, I'm gonna pick universe. Blank are the basic metric of media. Let me pick universe there. I think I might be wrong, but I'm not sure. Impressions are not unique exposures and cannot be added or can be added. So I'm gonna say can. Oh, great. I got 2 right. I got 1 wrong. So let me try again. You know, I think this one was right. No, I think I messed up here. Can. Great. Submit. Awesome. Great. So then I move on to the next section, my next course, and a video will pop up again, but I'm going to stop that. So
Hello, this is AJ from Geopath. Welcome to the third segment in the foundation.
I'm going to leave that. So that's basically how you work through the different courses. And like I said, after every set of videos, we do a quick concept review that hopefully aren't too taxing. This one's a little bit more fun in a way. I'm going to jump into this one because I've already done that. So like I said, there's mix and match. So you can drag and drop here. Let's see. I didn't pay attention. Oh, I didn't do so good on this one. So anyhow, just to show you, you can go back and redo it and try again here. Maybe I should have read the questions a little bit better here. So anyhow, let me get out of here. I'm going to leave. Any other questions in terms of the learner view?
No, nothing yet.
Okay, well, as you think, if there's something you're wondering about that I didn't get to, let me know. I also want to let everybody know that there's an admin view. So if your organization has a number of people that should be, that you want to take the course, we also can set up, you're automatically already set up as a group. So as we ported everybody in, each organization is its own group, and we can set an admin for that group. So if there's somebody that's leading education in that organization, which we do recommend, if possible, we can set that person up and they can have an admin view. So right now I'm set up as the admin for the Geopath team. So I have a supervisor dashboard here that shows a lot of different information. But I think ultimately, and Sean can help me out with this, we find that some of this view is maybe a little bit more helpful. So I can see from the team, I clicked on that, and I can see everybody here, which certifications they met. So I met me personally, I met the Geopath Measurement Fundamental certificate, and Jack's done a good job here. He's gotten all 3 certificates. Sorry that Nolan Pana was one of our early testers, so we had to set him up as a Geopath person. So we'll take that out shortly. But and then I see Tangia here on our team has also been through, met all 3 certificates as well. And there's other different views that we can look at as well.
Yeah, so this is when they've completed a certificate. But if you just want to see if individuals on your team have logged in or have made any progress, what you can do is go to the reports admin view and enrollments. And what this will do is enable you to filter on certain attributes. So if you go down to filter by progress status, maybe click on in progress and completed.
Where's that?
Yeah,
Completed.
right to the left.
Go.
And then run the report. You can also add other filters, but you just want to get a simple view of status. This will give you an idea of by course and by individual at your organization, what percentage of a specific course have they completed? So you can see that this top row shows 100% completion for the intro, but only 26, is that what it says?
26.
Completion for the measurement fundamentals course. So, if you want to make sure that everybody on your staff is participating in the learning lab, this is a good view for you to access.
And we could also sort, right, by if you just want to look at like how many people have been through what course, you can do a view that way as well. It looks like right here. So I want to see everybody that's been through at least the overview course and so on and so forth. And to move forward, you just click down here on the bottom so you can see multiple rows as well, or additional set of rows. And I think you can also, if you can look at 100 rows if you want as well. So you can expand it out so it's an easier view.
We had a question about admin access and how someone would get set up as their company's admin.
Yep. So that's really easy. Just email us at geekout@geopath.org. You can, or email Sean or me directly, but Geekout is probably the best way. And it's just really easy. Once we know, we'll just come into the tool and set you up as an admin view.
And you can also have more than one admin for your organization. So if you want maybe 2 people, you've got a lot of staff, you can certainly do that. You're not restricted to have one admin per organization.
Cool. Is there anything else, Sean, that you think would be helpful for somebody who is looking at the admin that would be they would need? So it really looks like the going into the enrollments. There's really learning plan. There's only one broad learning plan,
There's
right?
one
And it's our
learning
Geopath
plan, right, which
learning plan.
contains all of our certificates. Honestly, I think those 2 reports that we demonstrated are probably the key reports.
So the completed and the in progress. Great.
Yeah.
And just run
that's,
report. Okay, cool. Great. So one thing I want to do next is the other thing that we're building within the tool that you'll see hopefully in the coming weeks is a knowledge base. So that would be, we would have essentially a library of all the materials. So if you don't necessarily want to go through and complete their certificates, let's say, oh, you know what, I don't want to have to cycle through everything again. I just want the 1-pager and I forgot to print it off on CPM. You can come to that knowledge base and download that. So that's one thing we'll be building in the the semi-short term. But that said, if you need that sooner rather than later, all of these materials are for the most part available in our Geek Out library. So you can go there and download anything that's available there as well. So if it's in the if it's part of the courses, it should be in here. There's a couple of things we're just getting actually uploaded to the library. So if you aren't finding what you need, definitely reach out to us at the geekout@geopath.org, and we could send that right over to you if you need it. And I know people want to know, well, like, what's a good best practice? What should we be looking at for training and getting my team onboarded and having that adoption? And so, I think many of you know, we have our Geopath Futures Council. A couple of members joined us last month to talk about the best practices document. And that was also another thing we talked about was, just what are some recommendations, some guidelines for our members as they think about training. And what we suggest is that each member organization find somebody or tap somebody within their organization to be that Geopath power user or Geomaster, as we've been calling them, to make sure they're aware and trained in the Geopath insights and hopefully the Insight Suite as well. And then look towards the conference as a good milestone for getting anyone involved in planning, the RFP creation, or on the operator side, RFP response, or even if you're direct sales. So if you're a local seller, you actually function as kind of both, right? You actually function as agency and operator. So anybody that in that, and I know those categories are broad and that encompasses a large number of people. But again, we just want to put out some guidelines that we thought were achievable for the industry, and so that's what we're recommending. Try to, by the end of the year, try to find or assign at least one person as that lead kind of power user, and then look to the conference, which is a little bit earlier this year. It's the end of April, for trying to have the majority of your team, if not all, the team that needs to be trained. And so with that, are there any additional questions?
Nope, I don't see any.
Okay, great. Thank you everybody for joining. And so next month, again, we'll pick up with our use cases. We're working on one right now. And at this point, it's going to be an operator focused use case. I know we got a question yesterday, if you're on the call, just asking how we would do that particular use case if you were an operator. So we do try to kind of balance and do 1 month that's more of an agency view and 1 month that's an operator view, and we try to do local, national. So we are trying to mix it up, and hopefully you'll find something, a session that's right for your interest and needs. So our next sessions, because of the Thanksgiving holiday, we're actually going to do them a little bit earlier. Usually we do them the last Thursday and Friday of every month. So this year it's going to be, this month it will be just a little bit earlier. So Thursday, November 21st, we'll do the foundational level. And again, that typically focuses on changes to the Insight Suite, how to use the Insight Suite to achieve certain tasks. And what we typically do is we'll use the use case that we're going to talk about on the Friday session to guide the workflow and show you how to grab that data and everything you need to actually get to the advanced level. And so the advanced level course session will be on Friday from 12 to 1. And we will have a special guest and talk about the use case itself and their observations and how they're using the data within their organization. And we'll announce all that in the coming weeks as well. As always, if you want to check out any of our past use cases or past sessions, go to Geek Out tab on our website and scroll down to the Out of Home Office Hours tab. And also here, you click right here where it says here, that'll bring you right to our YouTube channel, and you can see all of our past webinars as well as other videos that we have on there as well. I also always want to make a plug. If you do have a use case that you want to see in an upcoming webinar, please reach out to us. We want to have as many different ideas and different use cases as possible done, and we can use those in our learning lab as well. So reach out to us at geekout@geopath.org if you have any ideas, or if you also have any questions, and also if you want to be an admin for your organization as well. And Brian, just checking in. Any other questions?
Nope, we're all set.
All right, great. So thank you, everybody. Thanks for joining so many on a Friday afternoon. There was a big response to this one, so I really appreciate everybody coming out and listening and having a lot of questions. So thank you again. And have a good rest of your day and weekend.